birds, and sex is often used to catch people's attention. Why? What makes it such an interesting word? Why is it important to talk about sex? By grade 12, 58% of students in Nova Scotia have engaged in sexual intercourse. Of those students, -37% had more than one sexual partner in the previous year, -36% had not used a condom, -66% had unplanned sexual intercourse, -35% were under the influence of alcohol or drugs when they had intercourse. Youth between the ages of 15-24 have the highest rates of sexually transmitted infections. At least 1 in 9 Canadian high school students has already been involved in an abusive relationship. You need to make good decisions about your sexual health. To do this, you need in the upcoming weeks of PDR, you will receive this information. We will cover the following outcomes: preventing sexually transmitted diseases. Preventing HIV/AIDS demonstrates self-knowledge, self-respect, and assertiveness in sexual decision-making. Risks and related precautions of being sexually active. Options and consequences related to teen pregnancy. Identify personal, social, and cultural influences related to sexual identity and decision-making. Demonstrate acceptance of, and appreciation for, their own and others' sexual orientation. Demonstrate empathy toward people living with HIV/AIDS. What do you remember learning last year? What do you want to learn this year? The vocabulary of sex, AX, adolescence, adult, acne. BCDEF, IJK. Ground rules. Talking about sex and puberty can be embarrassing, so questions are encouraged, especially to the question box anonymously. All points of view are valuable. No preaching or putting down someone else's values or ideas. Use proper terms. It is okay to be embarrassed. Everyone has the right to pass on answering questions aloud. Sexuality includes not only biology and science but also social, emotional and behavioral aspects. Learning about sex involves all of these things. Adolescence. What does adolescence mean? Becoming an adult. Moving from the thoughts, feelings, body, and relationships of a child to that of an adult. Can begin as early as 9 years old. Girls equals usually 9-16, boys equals usually 10-16. Everyone changes at his puberty. What is puberty? When our body changes physically and mentally from being that of a child to that of an adult. Reproductive organs begin to work like those of an adult. We start to look, think, and feel in new and different ways. Changes during puberty. Takes many years to finish developing. Most people tend to hit puberty around the ages of 11-14. Girls tend to go through puberty earlier than boys. Everyone grows at different rates. Boys' rate of puberty. Changes that occur. Visible changes that occur during puberty. Hormones. What are hormones? Chemicals in our body that travel in the blood. Different parts of our body communicate with one another by releasing hormones into the blood, telling other parts of the body to do something. There are different types. X, stress hormones, sex hormones. Puberty starts when the brain sends messages, hormones, to the ovaries or the testicles. These hormones tell the testicles to begin making testosterone and the ovaries to make estrogen. These sex hormones send messages to certain parts of your body to tell them to grow and change during puberty. Hormones indirectly affect the way we feel and thus how we behave. How they do it is not well understood. Class. Female reproductive system. Women have 2 ovaries. The ovaries are where egg cells are stored and where they mature. Women are born with all the egg cells, they have during their lifetime. The mature egg is swept into the fallopian tubes down to the uterus. This is where the fertilized egg stays and grows in case of pregnancy. The feet. T5. In general, one egg becomes mature each month, accompanied by the thickening of the tissues in the uterus as induced by the female hormones. When the egg is not fertilized and thus no pregnancy occurs, the mature egg and the broken up thickened lining are sloughed off, and thus the bleeding. This is known as menstruation, having a period. A woman's period lasts about 3-7 days. Male reproductive system with puberty brings the capacity to produce sperm. The testes or testicles are the organs that produce sperm cells. The testicles sit in a pouch of skin called the scrotum. As sperm cells travel down the tubes, a milky fluid is added by the prostate gland to provide nutrition and mobility for the sperm. This is called semen. The semen then travels through a tube in the penis. When the semen is released from the body, it is called ejaculation. HWKB7. Factors that influence good health: 3 meals a day. Moderate exercise 2-3 times a week. Adequate sleep. Not smoking. Healthy weight. Introduction to puberty review question. Mini quiz: puberty